Hello, everyone. This is Cindy Baughman. I'm here today with Missy Shipman of the Glad Heart Stampers. And Missy and I have been enjoying partnering together, doing some wonderful classes. And so in today's video, what we want to do is we want to share with you some projects that we designed using the Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper. We both have partnered together this month for a class that we'll be doing at the end of the month. And so we've made some different projects that aren't a part of our class that we'll be sharing with you today that are going to feature products that we made in past classes. So we're learning a lot from each other, and we wanted to take those ideas and share them with you today.
Great, thank you, Cindy. Well, I want to show you the beautiful papers that are part of the Symbols of Fortune collection. And they have lovely, almost linen-like fabric, linen-like designs on one side, and then this gorgeous gold foiling on the other. They're just really spectacular. And so Cindy and I have a lot of fun showcasing this paper for our class for April 2022. And but what we wanted to show you today as a little teaser for the Symbols of Fortune product is how we've used projects that we designed for our previous classes using this paper. So we had a lot of fun earlier this year with a Hello Beautiful class, and this amazing paper, again with gold foil. You can tell that Cindy and I like the bling and the sparkle, and some of the mother of pearl paper. And this is a cool design that Cindy created that makes a little pocket card. And so this is kind of a hidden gem in our catalog. It's the Basic White Assorted Memory and More cards and envelopes. And it's a wonderful collection of 40 pieces. You get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, and they come in two different sizes. So the size we're featuring for these cards is the larger size. It's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And that way, when you work with 6 by 4 papers, you'll notice that it will leave a little border around so nicely. So I want to show you two different layouts using the card base like this that Cindy created for our Hello Beautiful class. And these are two that now I've recreated using the Symbols of Fortune paper. So again, a sneak peek at one from the, or a look back at the one from our Hello Beautiful class. Great for a tea inside, or a gift card, or cash, or a check. And then we're going to show you how to easily create them using the bases, which are the basic white. So you can make this flap and this pocket either on the left or on the right side. It's a simple measurement of 2 inches. So I'm going to take my card base and cut from the score line to the end. So it's at 4 1/4. This is my dark blade for cutting, and I've got that along the score line, and it's measuring 2 inches. I'm just going to drag that to cut it. And now I have my pocket on the left side and my flap that lifts up on the right. So that's how I did it for this sample card here. The layering pieces, again, are easy measurements. We have a 4-inch square designer series paper, and then a 1 3/4 by 4. So you can cut up a whole pile of these little pieces and then have them ready to mix and match. All we do is take a little bit of our Tombow multi-purpose glue to create a border here, a thin line, like a thread of glue, not thick. Little goes a long way with our liquid glue. And that's going to create a pocket now where we can put, again, a tea bag or a gift card, you name it. And for this other one, that's a portrait layout, I'm going to take my base of the Assorted Basic White Memories and More cards, the large size. And this time I'm going to use my trimmer to score at 1 1/4 inch. So I'm going to park the dark blade. It's out of the way. I'm going to go use my ruler on this side of the blade to 1 1/4, and I'm going to score. Now you'll notice the difference here on the card that I'm showing from our earlier class. I folded that side piece in to create a pocket. And on my Symbols of Fortune one, I folded it to the front. So it just creates another layer of interest at the front. So to do that, I use my, along the score line, I can use the back of a spoon, or if you have your bone folder handy, and that way it's along the front. Now these measurements are simple as well. We have strips that are 1 by 6 inches. And let's see, this one measures 2 3/4 by 6 inches. So And in fact, if you're going to be folding it over the front, you can make this shorter and conserve your paper a little bit more, but it's cut the same so that I could choose either to have it create a pocket on the inside or that layer of interest on the outside. So that's it, Cindy. They're really fun and easy. They're great to use when you have 6x6 pieces of paper or the 6x4, the abstract beauty paper that we featured before, and really fun. One more quick thing to show you. When you create cards using designer series paper, if you're like me, you often end up with lots of little scraps of pieces, and this foil and this mother of pearl paper and this DSP is much too precious to toss. So you can create 1-inch squares or 1x2 or 2x2, 2x3. You get the gist of creating those. This one I even combined to make 1 inch with a 1/4 and a 3/4 inch panel. And then they can be added to your card fronts with any other die cut or stamped images at the front. Here's this one to end up with.
I just love the Symbols of Fortune paper and how you can, like, you know, use all the, you know, the linen side and then the shiny side and mix and match all those patterns, and they all just look amazing. I also, would you be able to pull over the original card from the other class and just look at the difference?
Sure.
By, you know, it's like the same card, but then show it next to the card Symbols of Fortune, you know, looks completely different, you know, but yet it was inspired by that. That's really, really neat to see.
Yeah, well, this was actually my favorite class that we've done together so far, Cindy, was the Hello Beautiful, because I really loved that we showcased this wonderful shortcut product of the Assorted Memories and More card pack. They are just so much fun to play with. It's a nice thick basic white card base, so it's got a lot of heft to it, and then you can really let the designer series paper do the work. Also featured on these cards are some of the polished dots, and they're included in your kit that Cindy and I have lovingly packaged for you. We still have kits available, so we invite you to register right away. If you can't be with us live at the end of the month, we have a recording. We just finished making our beautiful recording of the projects, so you can do it on your own time. So thank you, Cindy.
So last month, Missy did a Rainbow of Happiness fundraiser for Aaron's Angels, and I did a Rainbow of Hope fundraiser for Hope Lodge of Hawaii. So we both did a similar project, but you know, what's really interesting is the projects that Missy just demoed for you are actually the projects I designed, and the project that I'm going to do for you today is actually what Missy designed. And it just goes to show how we've been learning so much from one another and been inspired by what one another do. Now, I just want to quickly show you, I don't have the full set of these cards because I've already been giving them out, but you can see I have 3 of them. There is another collection, another card that goes in this collection. And then I have one that has different designer series papers. So what I'm going to show you today is how I did these same projects, which is Missy's stack and cut method. And I created some cards using the beautiful Symbols of Fortune. So I'll leave this one kind of close so you can see the difference. Okay. So here are the 4 designs that I did. Now I use, for these 4 designs, I used just the stamp set, the Crane of Fortune stamp set. So I did 2 with the cranes and 2 with the chrysanthemum flowers. And I just stamped with coral and smoky slate ink and then black memento ink. And then you can see the different patterns on there from that beautiful designer series paper. Now, the neat thing that I did was I just flipped the paper over to the opposite side, and then I made 4 more designs. So let me show you those. This time though, I used the die set to die cut the chrysanthemum flowers, and then I fussy cut the cranes out of the designer series paper. And so then we have these 4. And again, these feature the Crane of Fortune stamp set, all the sentiments from the Crane of Fortune stamp set, and then the dies. And then you can also see that we've used polished dots, which come in this really pretty kind of like a light coral color, as well as clear. So these are the inspiration again from Missy's stack and cut method, but look at the difference between this happy card and these elegant card with this beautiful foiled Symbols of Fortune designer series paper. Okay, so Missy, I'm going to attempt to share now how you do the stack and cut method. And I'm glad you're here to help me. This is like my test to see how well I learned from you in class. And you're such a good teacher. All right, so I'm going to take these 4 pieces, and As far as the direction of the paper, you can see that these two don't have a direction, but these two do. They are directional paper. Maybe let me put this one on the top because the cranes are all going in this direction. So we don't want to make this piece upside down. It really doesn't matter as much, except if you want to use this paper for your envelope flap. And so we're going to cut it in such a way that you'll have a leftover piece that you can put on your envelope flap. So the first cut that we're going to make, and this is a 6x6, is we're going to turn it. I'm going to place it in my trimmer and I'm going to line it up at 3 inches. And then I'm going to cut through all of those layers. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we have 2 3x6-inch sections. And so now I'm going to show you how you can take these pieces here and create the color blocking that we'll need for 4 different note cards. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is stack those together and I'm going to line them up at 4.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to cut. And then we're going to have this piece here, and this is just going to be extra. All right, the next cut that we're going to do is we're going to turn the paper and we are going to cut it at 1 3/4 inches like this. Okay, so I'm going to cut across like that. Okay, so now we have this larger section and the smaller section. So with the larger section, we're going to turn it again, and this time we're going to cut it at 1 3/4 inches again. So I'm going to line it up here and cut. Okay, and then the smaller section here, we're going to place this 1 1/4 inch by 4 section, and we're going to cut it off at 2 inches. That's right, yeah?
That's correct. Yes, good work.
Okay.
And we have all these fun puzzle pieces.
So we're cutting this at 2 inches. And now we have all of our stacks of cut designer series paper. Okay. So we have 4 stacks that all have 4 different designs. And now we get to do a puzzle. Okay. So I like to start with the largest piece here. And I'm going to just place that large piece right there. And then I'm going to put it in 4 different sections. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to grab the square. And what we're going to do is we want to make sure that, okay, this matches this. Okay. So we don't want 2 of the same design together. So because that matches that, I'm going to bring that down there and partner it with that one. And then now this one here, we're going to bring it over here. And this one here, we're going to bring it up here. And then we're going to bring this one here. Okay. All right. I just added the rainbow card here so you can see again the orientation. So now with the smaller pieces, we're going to take and we are going to, now we know we can't do this piece or this piece because we already have that. So I'm going to go ahead and place this one here. And then on this one, we don't have this one. So I'm going to put that there. And it is very much like putting a puzzle together. So sometimes even after you've laid them out, okay, like right here, I have to move something, right? Because I can't put that there because I've already used it. I can't put it there because I've already used it. So that means that piece goes there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That goes there and that goes there.
I think it's very fun.
Yeah, it's like a game. It's like a game. Okay, so, and guess what? Because we have the 3 pieces on there already, there, that's better, yeah? Now we have this final piece, and this is going to be the easiest part of the puzzle because now we just have to find out what's missing. So we have the green one there, we have it there, we have it there, but we don't have it there. This one with the crane can go right here. This one, we already have it there, so it's going to go there, and then that's going to go right there. So simple. All right, and then to finish up this card, all you do is you just take a piece of basic white cardstock that's 2 by 3 inches. And then the mother of pearl, that's 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then again, you can choose to stamp your sentiment and add some die cut pieces from the Symbols of Fortune paper, or you can stamp right on there with the Crane of Fortune stamp set and then do that as well. So either way, you can use either technique to finish off these really fun cards. So thank you, Missy, for teaching me the stack and cut method. And what I love about this method is once you have all your puzzle pieces together, especially because remember, we do have another stack. So if I don't want to make the envelopes, I can cut this stack in the same way, but I can flip it upside down and then I can have 4 more cards. So out of one 6 by 6 piece of designer series paper, you can make 8 cards. So I love it. I love it. So, well, Missy and I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed these projects that we shared with you. Missy, a special thanks to you for teaching me the stack and cut method. I loved using it with the Symbols of Fortune paper, and I hope you like these cards that I designed using your method.
They're absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you for sharing the great card layouts featuring the basic way assorted memories and more cards. They're just wonderful, versatile shortcut bases for us to play with. So from Hawaii to New York State and all the friends in between, we thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at one of our classes in the future. Until then, aloha.
Bye-bye.